The story is told of the associate pastor. Here at Holy Family, I'm the pastor, but we have various other priests here, Father Roy and Father Livardo, associate pastors. And the story was told of the associate pastor who got up one Sunday and preached a message on loving God and loving neighbor, and it was a pretty good message. People came back to church the next Sunday, and the associate pastor preached on loving God and loving others. In fact, it was the same message as the Sunday before. Right? The pastor thought, well, this is strange, but, these things happen. The next Sunday, the associate pastor came back and preached again the same message on loving God and loving neighbor. At which point the pastor said, something is wrong. I need to speak with my associate pastor and see what's going on here. He's preached the same message 3 Sundays in a row. 3 Sundays in a row. And the associate pastor said to him, I've preached this message of loving God and loving others now for 3 Sundays in a row, and I'd love to preach something else, but it doesn't seem that they've gotten the first lesson yet. Ouch. Sisters and brothers, it sounds so simple. Loving God and loving others. In fact, it's so much simpler than it was to be a Jew in Jesus' days. We all know that Jesus was not a Catholic. What religion was Jesus? Jesus was a Jew. And to be a Jew in Jesus' day meant that you followed 613 laws. How many? 613 laws. 613 rules of how to act, of things not to do. Thou shalt not eat catfish or shrimp. It's in the Bible. Thou shalt not wear cotton poly blends. It's in the Bible. Thou shalt not play American football. It's in the Bible, maybe in other words. How many rules? 613. So in today's gospel, when a scholar of the law asked Jesus, of those 613, Master, Teacher, which is the most important? And what does Jesus say? The most important law is this: you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your strength and all your mind and every morsel of your being. Love God. Got it? And the second one is similar. Love those people around you like you love yourself. Treat them like you want to be treated. Which is why today's first reading is so important from the book of Exodus. It's all about treating others like we want to be treated. If you treat a widow or an orphan badly, widows and orphans were people who didn't have others to take care of them, right? Orphans don't have parents. Widows don't have a spouse to be able to help to provide. If you treat a widow or an orphan badly, be careful. The Lord said through Exodus, the Lord said, be careful if you treat them poorly, because I will smite you. I'll take your life, and what will happen? Your wife will be a widow, and your children will be orphans. Yikes. Treat others like you want to be treated. If you borrow something from someone, give it back. Isn't that what you want them to do to you? Treat others as you want to be treated. Sisters and brothers, if you wanted to build a cross, how many pieces of wood would you need to build a cross? 2. In fact, every time you make the sign of the cross, you're drawing a cross on yourself. Shall we try it together? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. What did we just do? We just drew 2 lines. In the name of the Father and of the Son was one line of the cross. And of the Holy Spirit was another line. We just drew 2 lines across ourselves. And every time we do that, or every time we see a cross, it should remind us of the 2 directions in which our love should go. We need to love God. Should we try that with our own hands? Take both hands. With one hand, point to God, love God. And with the other hand, point to that person beside you. Whoa. And if you're loving God, and if you're loving that person beside you, then you're following the footsteps of He who died on a cross, Jesus. If you love God and love that person beside you, how profound is that? Sisters and brothers, in today's second reading, Paul tells the Thessalonians, be imitators of us. We who are trying to imitate Christ by loving God and loving others, that's what we're trying to do. Do that. How's that for homework this week? This week's homework is for all of us to consider how it is that we're loving God and loving those around us, or perhaps how it is that we're not loving God and loving those around us through the things that we do and we say. Because ultimately, as our hymn of sending forth says today, they will know we are Christians. How? By our love, they'll know we are Christians. How? They'll know by our love. Sisters and brothers, let's make it our homework this week to love God and to love those persons beside us.